Alrighty, old gatekeeper here. Alright, Mr. Something just hit me. I was just about to make a fool of myself because I thought you made a mistake. Oh my goodness. Let me turn this light off. Alright. Before I even started working on your amp here, bud, looking at the note that you sent me here, let me cover everything up here. Mr. Skip Benner. I see Silver Eagle 350, okay? I see it down here too, and in my mind, I'm thinking that you're thinking this is a Silver Eagle 350 because it's about the same size as a 350, Silver Eagle 350, this and that. And I looked at it, I'm like, no, this is a Messenger. This is a Messenger M250. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, poor guy, he thinks it's a Silver Eagle. But now looking at it, your handle is Silver Eagle, and your numbers just so happen to be 350. Ain't that funny? So you did not make no mistake. I looked at it and just didn't read it because I was like, did I make a mistake? I thought I had made a mistake, man. This wasn't your amp, and I had accidentally put your amp with the wrong note. But I went looked at my work order, and I'm like, nah. And what gave it to me that I didn't make a mistake is where you say the RB5 relay board. You can see where someone tried to replace a component. I obviously don't, I actually don't see where you're saying that. I think what it is you're just looking at all of the soldering in places. You know, it's not the best soldering job. It's kind of heavy on the soldering. It just looks like somebody had tried to replace something. But, no, they don't appear that anybody's had to replace anything from what it looks like on my end. But anyway, that's kind of funny, man. It just so happens to be that your handle and number is the same as a amplifier, Silver Eagle 350. So anyway, we got a Messenger M250. This is an AB version. You'll see some of these out there too that are Class C's. First, I just want to show the bias. I usually just do this on Texas Stars, but I always check the bias on the amplifier before I key it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and manually key it. Make sure I'm hitting the right. Alright, we're at .674 volts, which is great, very acceptable. Alright, let's go ahead and unhook my wires here so the bias is good. Alright, you basically just wanted me to go through the amp for you. I did a full-blown cleaning job on here. I know you didn't ask me to do that, but after I thickened up on some of the solder spots, I just had to, in good faith, to clean it up good. There's a couple of spots on here where I see these boards are made by Mr. RT himself, and just there's a couple of spots I could tell by over a longer period of time, you know, oxidation could hit it and start eating it away. So I just put some solder on there. I thickened up a couple of solder spots. I could have took these off. These are actually two 1446s, and to be honest with you, they look like they may be some newer 1446s possibly, if that's possible, or they could be some remakes. I don't know. I just know that I haven't seen any 1446s that look like this, but it's working well. It's working the way it really should. So I just thickened up on a lot of the solder spots, man, that I usually would do in an amplifier like this, like the ground plane that's carrying the ground to the emitter of the transistors. I went ahead and redid the power distribution. They roll with this right here, which is about 10 microhenries. You can see how small that lead is on there. Now we're rolling with some 14 gauge wire. This right here equals about 7 more. You're about 17 microhenries here, so that's a little bit more inductance on there to keep the RF ripple from going back on your power wire. I also retuned the input. It didn't have a lot, but I was able to get it down a little bit lower just by adding about 10 more picofarad worth of capacitance. It had 100 on there. It's now got 111. So I don't even really know why I did that. Something just sometimes I just go with what I feel. Something told me to throw a trimmer in there and see if you can get it down a little bit. So after doing all that, man, a couple other small odd things. Driving 4 watts RMS into it, about 15 watts peak. I have no problem getting what it's advertised on the front, which is 250 watts. Okay. I even drew a little diagram of the amp, because I don't think I've ever drawn a diagram before of this particular amp. I am a nut about drawing diagrams of things sometimes. I just kind of wanted to draw the bias circuit. Kind of wanted to see that, and also the output filter. This thing has an output filter on it. Very simple output filter. I hadn't plugged it into my calculations to see what frequency it's trying to filter, but I can guess it's probably going to be around 10 meters, or it could be 11. Alright, let's go ahead and jump to some output tests, since I ain't got a lot left on this video. Time. Alright, 4 watts RMS drive on the 1000 watt slug. Oh, let me turn the amp on first. I'm going to turn it on high. I had it on low too. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Almost 100 bird. Here's your peak. Oh, right there about the 250 mark. Oh, 250 watts, 250 watts. Here's your input. Oh, see how low I was able to get it, man? Almost flat. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Put it on medium. Oh, 200 watts. Put it on low. Oh, 100 watts. That's peak. So the box is working good, man. It's actually working real good. Let me press pause. We'll hook up the hot radio. I hadn't hit it with that yet. Me personally, I just hit it the way I was doing. And your question, if this is a high drive or a low drive box, this is a low drive amplifier. You could use this for a driver. This will be a great driver for a bigger amplifier. Give me 1 second. Alright, brother, we're pretty much at the saturation point. This thing does have an output filter on it. Whenever you have an output filter on an amplifier, you are going to give up some of your output power. That's the way this stuff goes. You got to give a little to get a little. So you're not getting that much more out of it hitting it this hard, so there's no need to. Ooh, see, about 120, 130 watts, so you didn't gain that much more. So this, I wouldn't hit this thing no more than 15, 20 watts peak. About 4 to 6 watts RMS, and I'd leave it just like that, man. Got your output filter on here. This would be a good amplifier for sideband. So hope you enjoy, man. This thing's wrapped up and ready to go, man. Just had to make a few tiny modifications. Nothing major. You got something like this you want done, or just want me to